must not be forgotten that artificial intelligence functions as a tool for the good of human beings, not to diminish them, not to replace them. What is emerging is, in fact, a significant challenge, one that calls for great attention and foresight in order to project, also in the context of new scenarios, healthy, fair, and sound lifestyles, especially for the good of younger generations.
And we have Trump making the drums beat louder when, that's right, guys, on the weekend. And we know for a fact it's going to affect the markets all week. Remember, this is a plan. It moves in phases. And there will definitely be retaliation. Will it happen soon? We don't know. We know the media is going to try to talk it down. But there's definitely going to be retaliation. And don't forget, guys, when the drums are beat, this time is going to be cyber, no longer physical. And remember, the crypto teacher told you.
AI and digitalization is something that we strongly believe that will deliver not only in terms of creating and maximizing value to the shareholder, but it's also in enabling us to reduce our carbon footprint, harnessing the talents that we have in terms of development and make them more capable, more AI enabled, more technology enabled is something that's important. So Aramco will continue to grow, but will be more diversified, more in digitalization, AI. You've seen our pivot toward minerals because a lot of what we are doing in the concession areas, we identified a good amount of minerals that we are tapping into. So the company will continue to grow, diversify, and at the same time capture opportunities in terms of the chemical sector and liquid to chemicals and all of these things, tapping into the talents that we have. The biggest asset that we have in Saudi Aramco is our human capital. So making sure that we continue to develop them to meet the challenges of the future. There is a lot of challenges ahead of us, especially with sustainability, with the transitions, with disruptive technologies. We need to be ready. That's why we are working on quantum computing. We're working on AI. That's why the $7 billion for startups in one of the biggest venture capital in any company around the world. We are always cognizant of what could happen in the future and thinking about what could happen, what disruptive technologies might come in, and how can we prepare it or leading in terms of today we lead globally in terms of not only cost, also on carbon footprint for every barrel or million BTU that we produce. How do we maintain and continue to maintain that leadership while also delivering the new energies that the world wants also?
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And you know I come back with that video just to make you think.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And make sure you join the Patrons. If you're not a part of the Patrons, make sure you're hitting the Cash App. Also, go like and follow the TikTok. More videos to come. And you get the warning. We have the Pope speaking of AI. AI should not be replacing the people. But we know these robots, algorithms, and drones are there to replace the people inside the economy. And what do we find in the Bible? That's right, AI. And what happened to that city? The same thing is going to happen to this globe. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. And we have Saudi's Aramco CEO speaking of AI and all the new technologies, and then plus the climate agenda. And we know the Middle East is leading this fourth industrial revolution in all sectors. And if you have the NWO book, you knew about the Saudi Aramco plan a long time ago. But something that's not talked about a lot is the metaverse, which is the virtual world. And the Middle East is leading in that sector also. And the only way the virtual world works is if you have quantum computing. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you, you won't be able to tell what's real and not real. And we have Kathy Hahn on the power of these stable coins and blockchain. And we are getting off the fractional reserve lending system and going one-to-one. But we know that's an illusion because once everything is tokenized and put on blockchain, really nothing is moving. And then plus, when you add on that smart contract, they'll have the most powerful money in history. They'll be able to tell you what, when, and how to buy, and you have 3 to 6 months to spend it or poof, it's gone. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
The Genius Act, it was already growing. And, you know, I debated Paul Krugman, the economist, in 2018 on stablecoins, and you can go watch it on YouTube. And I said then this made a lot of sense. And just because a wise person told me, just because something's inevitable doesn't mean it is imminent. And indeed, while many people have been declaring the blockchain and digital asset space dead over the last few years, we have been investing into stablecoin infrastructure, stablecoin applications. And I think what we've seen, Andrew, is just tremendous growth. Let me give you 3 statistics that I know you had Jeremy and Circle, a lot of buzz there, but let me give your viewers 3 stats on stablecoins, something that didn't even exist, 6 years ago, 7 years ago. $250 billion of supply. And that's up so much year over year. I mean, the growth has been really exponential. You're talking about just over a year ago, $100 billion of stablecoin supply. So it's really growing very rapidly. And we think that growth will continue, particularly with the advent of the Genius Act. But it's not just that. Another statistic that I think people are surprised to learn about stablecoins is stablecoin transaction volume for the first time eclipsed the transaction volume of Visa last year. I'm not sure if you knew that. And then the third thing about stablecoins is they're now the 14th largest holder in the world of U.S. Treasuries, having surpassed the economies of Germany and Norway as the largest holders.
So, Katie, but
for every one USDC that Circle issues, there is $1 in a, for example, JP Morgan bank account. And we all woke up to the limitations of the fractional reserve banking system with Silicon Valley Bank. So this is fully reserved. And I think that's important. But you mentioned the Genius Act, and I think let's come right back to that, because I think the space you called me an OG. I've been in the space for 10 years. One of the things I've been saying since I first came on your show, I've been asking for regulatory clarity and more rules of the road. And I think the Genius Act is exactly that. And I think, if you're talking about risks, let's get some legislation in. So that's why I think it was really exciting that Senate Democrats and Senate Republicans came together to pass this historic bill. But may I say, I think the really transformational crypto framework is also the market structure bill. And I know there's been a lot of talk of both. Of course, the question that has stymied kind of courts and crypto founders is what's a security, what's a commodity, who's going to regulate those? And there's a perfect opportunity for the Senate and the House to also get that bill. And I think we saw 70 House Democrats last year join in support of a bill like that. So let's get both passed. And I think that's really
going to a different economy. And we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust. And we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we can have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting it more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and when the dealers have to step in to save a treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
Cryptoteacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get on stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing, they were still getting that free money. What are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.